Ursula M. Burns. Much of your life can be encapsulated in 3 quotes. The first, you report that many people told me I had 3 strikes against me. I was black, I was a girl, and I was poor. The second, the counterclaim from your Panamanian immigrant single mother that where I was didn't define who I was. And the third, your observation that I'm a black lady from the Lower East Side of New York. Not a lot intimidates me. You admit having struggled at first to catch your footing in an education system designed to serve people different from you, but you persisted to earn bachelor's and master's degrees in mechanical engineering. A summer internship led to a career-long service at Xerox, where you rose in 1999 to become vice president for global manufacturing, and in 2009 to become the first female African-American CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Leading an organization that operates in 180 countries with 140,000 employees, you have repeatedly been named by Forbes as one of the most powerful women in the world. You are transforming Xerox from a document hardware company into a provider of business services, while at the same time serving as the vice chair of the President's Export Council and helping to lead the White House program on STEM education. Here, then, is a 4th quote, equally telling. Dreams do come true, you have said, but not without the help of others, a good education, a strong work ethic, and the courage to lean in. I hereby declare you recipient of the honorary degree Doctor of Laws, entitled to all the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. It is our custom to ask one of our honored guests to speak on behalf of the entire group of recipients of honorary degrees. This year, we will have the pleasure of hearing from Ursula Burns.
So good, is it afternoon or morning? So good day. Thank you, President Falk, Chairman Eisenson, and members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty and alumni, my fellow honorees. Now listen to this. We have a Nobel Prize winner, a former two-term governor, a world-renowned writer, and little old me. To parents, friends, well-wishers, and most of all, to you, the graduates of Williams College, class of 2015, in a couple of minutes. It is a great privilege to be with you today and to become a part of your community, if only for a very short time. I thank you. It's really hard for me not to reflect on my own graduation back in 1980. It was really a dream come true for me and for my family. I grew up in a single-parent household in the public housing projects of Lower Manhattan. My mother's highest income year in her life was $4,400. Yet she managed to send me to Catholic schools from first grade all the way through to high school. I didn't really appreciate it then, but it was a gift of immeasurable value. That was followed by a scholarship to Brooklyn Polytechnic, now NYU Poly, and on to a master's degree at Columbia University, both in mechanical engineering. My mother saw education as a way up and out of the projects. She saw it as a liberator for all of us. She made whatever sacrifices were necessary to see to it that my brother, my sister, and I had an opportunity to get a good education and have the discipline to take advantage of it. All of the graduates here today had that same opportunity. All of you will immerse yourself in a world full of opportunity and challenge. What is amazing to me is that you are entering an America that my generation could barely imagine. If you saw the movie Selma, who saw it? If you haven't seen it, you should see it. You must see it. You can appreciate how far America has come in the lifetimes of the parents and faculty here today. An African-American president, elected not once, but twice. A credible woman presidential candidate. Governor of Massachusetts, not one, but twice, an African-American. But you are also entering a pretty messy world, a pretty messy America. The words of Charles Dickens in the 18th century when he was describing London apply here. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. We live in a world of both sobering challenges and awesome opportunities. As you leave this serene campus, you realize that there is something very wrong in America. Our political system seems incapable of action, and too often our political rhetoric is devoid of civility. Our public education system falls short in instilling the skills necessary to thrive in a 21st century economy. The right of all Americans to vote, a right won by blood and sacrifice, is under intense attack. Affordable health care in this great America is still not accessible to many. Very telling is the incidence of killings of Black men by those sworn to protect them. Women still systematically earn less than men. I can go on and on. And yet, for all of these shortcomings, our system of government remains the envy of the world and a beacon of inspiration for freedom. Our economy is the world's largest, and our ability to innovate continues to lead the world and create new businesses and industries. Our colleges and universities, including Exalted Williams, are the envy of the world. And while far too many of our citizens still encounter injustices in their daily lives, equity and inclusion have come a long, long way. So my advice to you is to not be discouraged. Yes, we do have problems, but you are entering an America that is full of hope, promise, and opportunity for you. In fact, you have a choice to make. You now have a Williams degree, which is your ticket to success and comfort. You can wring your hands over the sad state of affairs, or you can become part of the crusade for continuous change. You can reap the benefits of the sacrifices of those who have gone before you, or you can honor the memory of those whose shoulders you stand today and help build a better tomorrow. I'd suggest that you have actually no choice at all. In fact, when you enrolled at Williams, you already cast your vote. This noble institution does not graduate people content to sit on the sidelines. Whether you fully appreciate it yet or not, a Williams education commands you to the front lines. You are all about capacity and obligation. You have learned it and earned it here, and so you have to lead. This responsibility is a double-edged sword, I know. So you guys have all worked hard to reach this day and think it's a little bit tempting to just sit back for a while, but I am here to ask you to please lean forward, to lean in. America is both the nation, the greatest nation on earth, and as I said earlier, still a messy place, a work in progress. No generation can complete the task, but every single generation must try. And here's a prediction. As you reflect on your life's journey, hopefully many, many years from now, the accomplishments that give you the most satisfaction won't be what you did to gratify yourself, but what you did to help others. What we are remembered for is the impact that we had on our family, our communities, the country, and the world. It's what the journalist David Brooks, who was a Williams 2012 honorary degree recipient, was getting at in a recent column that he wrote called The Moral Bucket List. He describes two sets of virtues, the resume virtues and the eulogy virtues. The resume virtues are what you bring to your careers. The eulogy virtues are talked about at your funeral. Brooks warns that if you live your life for external achievement and gratification alone, these resume virtues, deeper parts of you will go unexplored. You will fall into a sort of moral mediocrity that ignores the yearnings of your better self. Brooks puts it this way: people on the road to inner light do not find their vocations by asking, "What do I want from life?" They ask, "What is life asking of me?" I suggest that at this time and place, a lot is being asked of you and your generation. Look for ways to engage, seek pathways that enable you to contribute, harness your education and good fortune in the service of others. And as my mother would say, leave behind more than you take away. It's the ultimate win-win, good for others, but enriching and rewarding for you too. Now, I'm a big listener to 80s, 70s, and 80s Motown music. And I listen to a particular radio station called Station 49 on XM radio. Listen to it sometimes. It's pretty cool. And recently I was driving with my daughter to a place in Pennsylvania, and a great song came on. And it was by a man named Gil Scott-Heron. You know? Yeah. And I was thinking about these words, and I had one speech, and I didn't particularly like it. And I was listening to this song, and the song is called "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." Right? You know it? And he says something in the beginning of the song that changed my whole thinking about how I speak to young people today. He says, "You will not be able to sit home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You have to engage. Today's ceremony is called a commencement for a good reason. You begin the rest of your lives armed with a great education made possible by a wonderful college. You have the loving support of your families who have sacrificed a mighty amount to make this day possible. And you stand on the shoulders of the brave men and women who have paved the road ahead of you. The rest is up to you. Today you begin to write the rest of your life story, and I say, write it well and write it in boldface. Congratulations."